The recording started. One more time.
Redneck. Well, the boys around here don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where they boot stomp all night. What? That's right. Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid, to get your girl and your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys around here drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot a back, shoot a back, shoot a back, spit. Oh, heck. Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that yawling southern drawl and just can't help it 'cause they just keep falling for the boys around here, drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, shoot her back, shoot her back, spit.
Let's ride through the countryside. Let's ride down to the riverside.
Hey now, girl, hop inside. Me and you gonna take a little ride to the river. Let's ride. That's right. Lay a blanket on the ground. Kissing in the crickets is the only sound. We out of town. Have you ever got down with a do you wanna get down with a girl, you gotta get down with the boys around here, drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back. I'm one of them boys around here, drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back and spit.
All righty. Welcome to the WINGIT call, July 11th, 2016. Who'd have thunk we'd have been here now? Pastor, take it away.
All right. Hey, how is everybody today?
Good.
Glad
How are you today?
Glad that you're alive. Glad that you're still breathing. Your heart's still working. And that means there's opportunity for us to get blessed. Father, we thank you for your blessing. We thank you for helping us, for strengthening us, for empowering us today. Lord, give us information that we can use in our daily life. We thank you for it now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen, and thank you for that. We need all the help we can get, especially the redneck witness.
Especially the redneck witness.
Absolutely. You know how it is, blue moon drinking, redneck grilling, big truck driving. and it only goes downhill from there. That's just the good parts. All righty. Wingman. Oh, there's my wingman. Okay. So the recording's on. The disclaimer is we're not attorneys, financial advisors, CPAs. This is not to be taken as legal advice. Seek your own. And for the rest of the disclaimer, please go to the wingitcall.com and you'll see a disclaimer tab. Click on the disclaimer, and there's the rest of it. Today is pretty much going to be Q&A day. I've got some questions over here that were sent to me. So, Wingman, are you ready?
Yes, for better, for worse.
All righty. Question 1. Oh, wait, sorry. I am so sorry. Art, take it away.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's okay. I don't have much anyway. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I did, and I know all of you must have because we're here. Hello to Pastor and to yourself and to the Wingman and to everybody out there in Denarland listening. All we know is that supposedly it was supposed to happen by yesterday, and we know it did not. There's not a lot of information out there. Last night on one of the other calls, they said they heard they were partying in Reno, and so we did hear they were, but I don't know whether they were or not. We didn't hear much more about that really, and we heard that things are supposed to happen very shortly, and one of my sources said some kind of announcement maybe tonight. How many times have we heard that, though? Lordy. About every week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, there's going to be an announcement tonight. Then there's never no announcement. And, you know, we've heard it so many times that we just get gun-shy on even broadcasting such things. So we'll just leave it that. We're still waiting, and we're hoping any minute, I guess. And we'll see what happens tonight. And if not tonight, tomorrow night. And we'll just keep going until. So I'll turn it back to you guys to get those questions answered for our good folks out there in Denarland.
Thanks, Art. As always, we've got 3 options. Wait, and wait. Pick one. So here we go. Question 1. If we exchange asset back, will there still be a need for a structured payout? I'm sure. Or contract payout, whatever you want to call it. If you've reached a certain amount, I'm sure they're going to want to find some way to do that, which we've talked about this. If you've got a wheelbarrow full plus 2 more, it's like a safety valve. If you take a fire hose and water your yard, you got a big mess. But if you go out there and water it with your little bitty garden hose, well, then the ground soaks it in, and that's the same way it goes with finances. If there isn't some sort of safety valve or metering valve, and that's what a contract payout would be, is metering it out into there, because if you flood the market like this, it's not good. Everything has to soak in, from water to finances. I hope that answers your question. Iko, if I've missed something there, just jump in there. Question 2.
We'll jump when required.
All right. Question 2, will the new banking laws protect our money in the bank against bail-in laws that have been passed through Congress? I don't know. And I don't think anybody can answer those, even my wingman. So, question 2 is a question mark. I don't know. Question 3. Art and Iko, what is the holdup? Cabal, procedure, process, computer problem, ad nauseum. What needs to take place for this to happen?
Pick me.
Wingman.
Well, I heard a great explanation last week that'll share with everybody. You know, I'm trying to look at this thing as a business transaction. You know, and forget all the hoopla, forget all the theories, Just look at it as straight business. What makes sense? And I was talking to somebody, and they said, think about the fact that we've got 209 entities in the WTO, 16 of them territories and the rest sovereign nations. All those nations have to get their treaties and their agreements with the WTO, with the IMF, with their region, with their movers and shakers, like, you know, whoever controls the infrastructure in the country, whoever controls communication. It's no different in any country. If anything, it's more pronounced than it is in the U.S. because we've been established for so long. But if you're in a newer country, you know, there are folks that you got to consider in everything you do. So getting all of those people to agree, and then getting them all on record that they're in agreement, and then verifying it, you know, finding out where so-and-so is trying to cheat, etc. That's a huge, complicated, bureaucratic mess. And they were thinking, their thoughts were that this is really what is holding us up more than anything. Yes, there are geopolitical tides to consider, and you know, events happen and things like that. But just the sheer logistics of putting this together, so that when they do, quote unquote, push the button, it's as ready as it can be. I mean, I can remember Tony in D.C. talking about this 3 years ago on the call, and I think that is one of the things. One of the large things that we've been fighting all along is not just whether the markets are right, or not just whether, you know, Iraq's got their act together, or, you know, the Chinese are satisfied with A, B, and C. It's just the bureaucracy itself has to be in line, because you're going to have 209 entities suddenly functioning under one set of rules. So that's something to consider. It also helps when we say it's not about us. If you think about it in those terms, not only isn't it about us, but we don't even exist as far as the reasons for why this has not occurred yet. But it is coming. So that's my long answer. But I thought that was that answer. That discussion gave me a lot of comfort. So hope it helped out some people too.
Question 4. Who has said that we need to present a business plan for our humanitarian projects in order to get the best negotiated rate, i.e. bankers continue control of our lives? Well, I've mentioned it. Let's see. I think it might have came in with Yosef, but I've heard through the grapevine that if you had a business plan when you went in and you looked like you were prepared and professional, then they're going to treat you accordingly. It's like anything in life.
Yes. Yeah.
First impression is the biggest thing. So, okay, that was question 4. Iko, you might want to stand back because question 5, I'm just going to let it fly, okay? So
okay.
Back in the corner for a minute. It says, tell us something shocking. Here goes. I'm pregnant and I've got the RV. I'm pregnant with the RV. There it is. It's shocking. And it's just about ready to pop out. I'm tired of waddling around. So that's it. When the water breaks, y'all will be the first one to know. Number 6. There has been a flurry of things being said here and there, mis and disinformation. One of the things that has concerned me was a mention that 1 trillion notes in Zim currency would be exchanged. Since I have not heard it anywhere but one source, I would tend to not believe it. Will all Zim note values, million, billion, and trillion, be exchangeable? That's what we've heard. that all Zim notes will be accepted as long as they're authentic. Question 7. What are the state income tax guidelines if you are a resident of a non-state income tax and exchange in another state with high income tax? Well, I don't believe you're going to be subject to those taxes there because you domicile in another state. You're just traveling and doing your exchange, so you'll be okay. Does that sound pretty good, Wingman?
Yeah, those are the current tax laws. You pay taxes in the state of your main residence. I mean, that's why everybody in construction in New York moves to Florida after they retire, because all those residuals and all those retainage checks come down, and now you're a resident of Florida, and there's no state income tax. And not only that, nobody can chase you down in Florida. They did a great job of that. If the building falls down, guess what? Too bad. I live in Florida. Don't call me about it. So yeah, that's correct. State of
Question 8. My question is it possible that the rest of the world revalue their currency and goes gold back, and the U.S. lags behind for an undisclosed amount of time due to the obvious stubborn control of the PTB? I read, not sure if there's any truth to it, that bounties as of yesterday, the 10th, were put on the heads of the PTB. Any truth to that? I could only hope. You know, my opinion is, until they feel a lot of pain, whether it's in the physical pain or financial pain or pain from, and I hate this to say this, but when we slaves have risen up, us wage slaves, and they feel that pain, a lot of stuff I don't believe is going to change, but I believe it's getting closer. But that's just my opinion.
I will second that opinion. Thank
you. Question 9. Please give your opinion if you believe the RV and GCR will occur at the same time or if separate, which would occur first. We've heard both. It could go either way. I don't know. It's a 50-50. Flip a coin. Go ahead.
Well, I'm hearing that in order for the GCR to become effective, the RV must happen because that's the seed money. So, but again, you know, we don't know. Everything's so ass backwards right now. They could announce a GCR and then slowly no, I take that back. I don't want to say that. The original order was RV GCR. That was the original order of things. So I'm going to stick with that. I think that's what will happen. There may be some premature announcement, but that's how it should go.
One more, and then we're going to start into the callers. And actually, this is a pretty good question. Do you believe the snail's pace of Iraq's military and coalition forces retaking northern Iraq is cabal controlled? Don't. Wingman, you're really noisy.
Sorry.
They don't take back all of Iraq until we are ready to produce the GCR RV. Do you believe that Maliki letting northern Iraq go to ISIS was a stall tactic for the GCR RV from the cabal? Yes, yes, and yes. From the time ask yourself this question, from the time we invaded Iraq, how long did it take us to start the war and then end it and then start the mop up? Days, weeks, not months and years. So And besides, I'm sure Iraq has probably tried many times to RV their currency and get up on the world stage, but they have yet to been given permission, except the other day when the IMF put in ink that they want Iraq to if they want the rest of their money, they need to do monetary reform to get the rest of their money from the IMF. So that's like, okay, we're ready. Now it's another waiting game until Iraq is given the final go-ahead. All right, you've got permission. Start the process, and then when you reach X point, then we're going to give you permission to actually push the button and come on the world stage. That's just my opinion. Now, let me see. Let's get over here. All righty. B on the web, come on down. B on the web, come on down. Hello? B? Hello, B.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes? Go ahead. You're there. One more time. Come on, be on the web. All right. I'll come back to you. There you go. You got now your microphone's got a bad short in it or something. I'll come back to you. Twin Cities, 763. Come on down. Twin Cities. B and C Trails, 763. Come on down. This is not good. Hello? B and C Trails. Well, okay. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 754. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry. I tell how y'all doing? I have
Good.
one question.
Can you hear me real well?
Yes, I hear you exceptionally well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. This, I believe, is for your wingman. Do you believe that there will be rates other than the international rates available to us when we do go into exchange, since we've heard that other people have already gone into exchange? It kind of seems as if, to me, they're kind of waiting until by the time we get there, there'll only be international rates available. What do you think about that?
Well,
Thank you, ma'am.
first, what, Chair?
No, I was just telling her thank you. It's one question Monday.
Well, first of all, here's a technicality. No one has actually exchanged. The only thing they've gotten is SKRs, which is an estimate of the value of their currency that the bank and they agree upon, and then that's a contract that they sign with the bank, and then they get access to some of that money in probably a lot of different ways: loans, outright access to a percentage of it, etc. But I don't think that in any way affects the international rates or the rates that we're going to be able to enjoy. There simply aren't that many to affect it. I hope that answers the question. Am I in there?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I have myself
I can hear you.
B, yeah, go ahead. It's your turn, BC.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I've got a question for Iko, since he just stated that, there's really been no exchanges and that they got SKRs. is it at all possible that they're exchanging the ones they want to exchange for SKRs, and then as it goes further and further down the road, then, the GCR hits and everything, the RV hits and everything else, but we're left holding the bag, not being able to exchange?
No, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The banks are not going to set themselves up for that kind of class action lawsuit. And again, you go back to all the language that's in 13303 in the related document. It's all about fairness. It's all about access, public access. We're fine. Some people have gone in because remember the banks want this as much as anybody. So the banks have granted SKRs based on the fact that they think it's going, and they've got favorite customers. And you got to remember, banks are business. You got your favorite customers, and you treat your favorite customers better than you treat your regular customers. I know I did when I was in business. There were people who would call us up, and we'd do anything for them, right then and there, right on the spot. And there's other people who say, "Oh yeah, we'll put you on a schedule." So I think I don't think we have to worry about how many folks have gotten SKRs. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that many, and it does not affect the rates that we're going to get.
All right. Does that help you out, sir?
You bet. Thanks.
All right. One second, please. There's somebody beating on my door, interrupting my call. Hold on. Mailman. How rude of him. All right, let's see here. B on the web. Did you get your problem fixed? B on the web. Hello. Yep, guess not. B on the web. Nope.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Cool. What kind of plans is anybody making if this thing don't happen by the end of July?
Same plans I've got now. Can steady on. Have no choice. Wait, and wait.
Well, okay. Because I'll wait till the end of the month, but I'll run an idea by you that we could all do. That way there's no point man for the men in black to come after, but it would be something that I believe would be effective.
Perfect.
Talk to you then.
Hold that thought. All right, bye.
Bye.
Austin, Texas. 512, come on down.
Hi.
Hello, how you
hear
doing?
Me?
Yes.
I'm doing great. That previous caller that just called in, I can hear the frustration in his voice, and of course we all suffer through that frustration. And I did want to say something. I know that one of the guys on the call at one time said that President Obama had stopped this RV about 103 times. I think that was the last time I heard him mention anything about that. And President Obama has a Twitter account. If we all got together and put together a unified message, just something nice and short and swift and sweet, basically enough is enough, stop holding the RV/GCR up, or this is going to finally hit the national news. Something to that effect. We got to wait until the end of the month. But we've waited, God knows, so long that it's time to force somebody's hand. And if we've got to force the hand, it's really probably in President Obama's corner. So I know that's a bit hefty to bring out, but that's the way the Twitter campaign succeeded when we were all listening to Tony. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm going to hold my thoughts until we get to that point. Okay?
Well, I just, wanted to bring it up because, we could go on through the end of the month of July and going into August and going into September. And I'm just saying maybe we're still far out enough. We're about 20 days till the end of the month, almost 3 weeks. And a lot can happen in the next 20 days. It might happen tomorrow. It might happen today. But we should be looking at a cutoff date where we all decide, and it's got to be through your leadership and Art and all the
I understand. We'll think about something between now and then, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, star 2 to raise your hand to ask a question. Sioux City, Iowa, 712. Come on down.
Had a question about that Turtle Island post yesterday about the banks might be dissolving our IRAs, deposits, and so forth. In other words, our money would all be gone. Do you have any thoughts on that, you fellas? We'd sure appreciate them.
I must apologize. I have not read that article. I've had my head in the sand doing other things.
Okay.
You know anything about that, Wingman?
Well, no, but I will say something in general. We all need to be careful when, and again, I'm not saying, everything we're getting bombarded with. There's some truth in it, and there's some interpretation in it. And what I've been seeing happen a great deal, especially in the past few months, is, we get a hold of one piece of information, and then we try to plug it into our own scenario on what is happening. And of course, there's gaps. So we fill in the gaps with our own conjecture or our own best guesses. And I think that just to use this as an example, is that a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility. But it's probably not a real event. It's probably not something that's being decided or planned. Perhaps it was discussed in a meeting somewhere, and that leaked out that they were discussing it. Got to remember that for when the GCR does occur, the banks are going to be very flush with cash. I mean, very flush. And things like that are probably not even in the conversation. But if you're worried about the government controlling things, if you're worried about the banks, then reports like that suddenly take on a greater weight. And I'm not saying to ignore them by any means, but I just don't see that happening, at least in the initial phase here. And by the initial phase, I mean a couple of years. There's going to be a bunch of bumps, for sure. And there's going to be some things that people didn't see coming down the road. But overall, if anything, this is just going to throw a ton of cash out there into the international markets. So I don't think we have to worry about that immediately, but that doesn't mean we don't have to keep watching out for it and to get people who are in positions of power who can affect that stuff. That's going to be one of our big jobs post-RV, is get the right people back in power.
Thank you for your comments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. I'm just
okay.
I'm over on my Twitter account. I've got people acting stupid, so
Jared, another comment I want to make on a previous quote. because he brings up a good point, because I think about stuff like that all the time. How can we push this over the edge? And one thing we got to remember is the original Twitter campaign was to announce to the PTP and the U.S. Congress, the guys who were already taking advantage of it, that we were out here, we were a substantial voice, and if they didn't leave us our seat at the table or bring a chair up and let us sit at the table, there was going to be a problem. And that was a legitimate action because of the language in 13303. We were entitled to own this currency, and we were entitled, like any U.S. citizen, to exchange it when the time came. The problem I see in, for example, getting it together and directing a tweet at the president is he's not, I know some people have come out there and said he's the one holding it up, he's the one holding it up. I don't believe that. I think he's one of the people, and he, meaning his administration, are one of the entities holding it up. But you've got some other great big players out there, and don't think they're not just as powerful or even more powerful, like the Chinese, like the India and Russia, like the United Arab Emirates, who are now, they've got new buddies in the field there. They've got Iran, and quite frankly, they've got Iraq too, because that's a geographic area it's gonna act in its own self-interest, and they've all got the same interest: pump the oil out of the ground and sell it to the world. So it's not. I'm not sure it would be a good idea, but I'm not ruling it out as an action to be taken down the road. And I think the frustration level will reach a boiling point eventually. And the PTB needs to know that. I'm sure they do know it, and they're putting that into their pipe and smoking it along with everything else. So it's complicated. That's the unfortunate part of this. It's just really complicated.
And I've said this before, and I want to give you a list of people who listen to this call. Are you ready? Everybody. If it's got 3 letters, they're listening. I know this for a fact. And I've even heard that there's countries overseas listening. So, don't know. Just saying. All righty, here we go on to our next caller, and *2 to raise your hand. 3 Rivers, 269. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry. Hi, Wingman Art. I need an answer that I can swallow here. I'm going to lay 2 bills down in front of you. One of them is a $100 trillion note, and one of them is a $500 million note. The $100 trillion note, I paid quite a bit more money than the $500 million note. Someone is telling me the $500 million note is worth 5 times more than the $100 trillion note.
Okay,
Can you
so
give me a reasonable answer for that?
Yeah, let me take this one, Wingman. So we've heard that they're lopping 6 zeros off of the $1 trillion notes, 3 zeros off of the $1 billion notes, and none off of the $1 million notes. So does that answer your question?
That's an answer, Jerry, but make me swallow it. I mean, come on. I repeat, I paid more for the 100 trillion than I did the 500 million. And I know my math.
Right. So please do your math.
This doesn't make sense.
It's business. The people that are selling the product, are in business to make money. So to answer your question, the 100T note is equal to a 1. If they lop off six zeros, it leaves you as a $100 million note. So how many of those are in a $500 million note?
Yeah, 5 of them.
There you go. There's your answer.
So I being on this call would lobby everyone to stop buying the $100 trillion notes. Buy the $500 million notes.
There you go.
You're 5 times ahead.
Bingo.
Correct?
Math wins out every time.
Yep, you're right. I tell you.
All righty, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Raleigh, North Carolina. Come on down.
Hello, Redneck Radio. How are you?
Redneck Radio at its best. Go ahead.
You bet. Iko.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Good. Question for you. You have a friend or a contact in the private exchange centers. Have you heard anything lately from them?
No.
Okay.
Everybody's going kind of silent.
Yeah, that's actually a good sign, though. Maybe it's a good sign. Trying to be positive here.
Right. Oh, no, that's actually, well, I take that as a positive. Not hearing from those sources, I actually like that.
Well, how long has it been since you heard from them? A couple of weeks?
Easily, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, maybe that's a good thing.
Well, you know what it says to me that nothing has changed.
Correct.
And that to me is always a good sign in this thing. One by one, we're knocking off what's the truth and what's conjecture. And, certain things keep popping up and we go, okay, we're gonna take that as real. You'll notice the whole discussion about exchange centers versus, retail centers versus this versus that. Where am I going to exchange? That's all old conversation now. Everybody knows they're going to exchange at an exchange center.
I believe so too.
Yeah, and so I kind of like that there's not a lot of intel out there, and also it makes it easier when somebody does come up with an extravagant tale. It's a lot easier to prove or disprove. So anyway, that's my take on that.
Great. Thank you very much, Jerry. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chi-Town, come on down.
Hey, Jerry, how are you today? Can you hear me okay, Jerry?
Doing? Oh, yeah, you got some wind noise there.
Okay, let me go inside the truck. If I can, I'll just start talking while I'm walking towards it.
Yeah, give me your question, please.
Question is, I have a friend who works for a major company. They have and this is probably Iko, he can answer this. They have what do you call that? A 401k account. where they lost $7,000 a couple weeks ago. And some days after that, maybe a week after, the $7,000 was replaced. Now, there's nowhere that I know that an average person with a 401k account will make $7,000 in a week. Now, it's been said that the U.S. is propping up the stock market, and I'm sure these 401k accounts all got some stock in something in the stock market. Is that correct?
Yeah,
and if
correct.
you can you explain? Okay, can you explain how something like that would happen if I have not already explained it already?
I call that kind of falls into the financial thing there, and I don't think we need to go there.
Yeah, but you know, a generic answer is there's a lot of factors there, like how much did he have in there? If he had $500,000 in his 401k, you know.
Oh no, no, they probably
okay.
got less than 70,000 in it.
10%. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. But stranger things have happened, let me tell you. So you should just be happy it got back. So
yeah. All right. I just thought I'd bring that out and see if you guys had an answer. Thanks for your time, guys. I appreciate you both.
okay.
All righty.
1 second, please. Okay, Venice. Oh, Bob on the web. Come on down.
Hi. My question is about groups. I belong to the General 64 group for many years. And I was very active on the OK Oilman site. And then when we had to switch, I switched over, just like everybody else did. And I know that there were gurus that were saying don't join groups. They were very adamant not to belong to a group. Now those people are saying that they're called the Internet group. And what I would like to know, where is the General 64 group? What is it called now? Because I know it merged. And the people, is the General 64 group, or the new name for the General 64 group, is it still existing? Are we public? Are we the Internet group? Are we separate from those? I've never seen a clear answer as to what has happened to the General 64 group and what status it is.
So the Generals group, which I'm part of, has merged over into, and now it is called the Wells Fargo group. And it is, I'm going to go ahead and mute you because you got a lot of background noise. It is now the Wells Fargo group. All the emails that the General had, the Chinese, I believe, started up the group through it's a long story, and I'm giving you the short version. Anyway, Wells Fargo has control of that that list now. Nobody's heard anything, and you won't until it's time to exchange. It was probably 2.5 years ago that I got any type of email or notification from a person called KC Manna to just give us an idea of what's going on. Ever since then, it's been locked up, and it is now with Wells Fargo. The Internet group is people like us listening that wouldn't be in a group. I'm sure you can refine that a little bit, Wingman.
Actually, I think you did a pretty good job. That's it. General 64 is now the Wells Fargo group, and there's no communication. until we exchange. My understanding there will be no communication. And it's funny. I've had 2 conversations today about groups. I wonder if somebody put something out somewhere that's causing a bit of a ruckus concerning the groups. People were just concerned about, they joined General 64 and all they had was Dinar and Dong. So is there Zim now included in that? And questions like that. Just trying to find out where things are at. And unfortunately, there's just no information out there that I've been privy to.
Righty, sir. I hope that answers your question. Thank you for calling. Manville, Louisiana. Come on down. 985.
Hey, how you doing, Gary?
Good. How you doing?
How you doing, Gary? Good.
Good.
I keep on hearing things of from everybody, the gurus included, that the public was never supposed to hear about this executive order, and now that we're involved in it, and I keep on getting this anxious feeling that they're going to figure out some kind of way to really disrupt the whole thing and not include us in it, just like the other caller said. And you keep hearing from Iraq that they have these new currency coming out, and Abadi just said something about that the world's going to be surprised with the new currency and this and that. And they have all of their money basically, supposedly, from what we're hearing, on cards. So what's to prevent Iraq from converting all of their civilians' funds into the cards, and after that happens, distributing the new currency, the smaller denominations, and just saying that all of the other currency is basically just monopoly money, because they didn't want the people in ISIS to have it. They didn't want anybody that was hoarding the money or stealing the money to have any use for it after they did the revaluation. What's to prevent them from doing something like that?
Go ahead, Wingman. You want me to take a stab at it?
I'll take a stab at it. You can add to it. I'll tell you what's to prevent them. Number 1, every single U.S. congressman, senator, secretary, cabinet member, 4-star general, you name it, are going to be really, really upset if they do that. Everyone in their region, the Saudis, the Iranians, the Jordanians, they're going to be really, really upset because all these people hold dinar. China is going to come down on them like the plague out of the east. It's too intertwined now with the GCR, with the whole geopolitical game that's going on. Iraq, even if they did have the sovereign power to pull that off, they would be crushed from all directions. So I don't think we need to worry about that.
Yeah, that would be shooting themselves in the foot.
In the foot. Try shooting themselves in the head.
Yeah. Anyway, sir, I hope that answered your question. Let's see. This is in your neck of the woods. Shahola, Pennsylvania, 570.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. Thank you guys for being the voice of reason. Just wanted to put that out there.
Where is Shahola? Whereabouts in the state is Shahola?
I go back and forth to New York all the time. I am in the corner of the Delaware River Valley, where Jersey, New York, and PA meet.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, it's God's country.
Yep.
Beautiful here.
All right, neighbors, you can talk over the fence later. Oh my God.
Okay, Jerry or Aiko, whoever can answer this. I'm a writer. I have an opportunity to do a book in India for 6 weeks. And I'll be in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know.
Should I bring? No, I'm not asking you to predict. I'm saying, should I bring the currency? What do I do?
You know what? Just take enough. I would say take enough to get a plane ride back and leave it here, because you're not a citizen of that country, and I'm afraid they won't let you exchange there.
They won't. No, they won't. Let me ask you this. I mean, have you got enough money? Because I know a lot of writers. Have you got enough money to be able to get a just-in-time ticket out of India and get back here?
I don't, but I will make sure I do.
Yeah.
There's your answer, ma'am.
Yep.
Just get
$3
that out of
Dodge.
Dodge.
Almost anywhere on Coach. But that's what you want to. You're certainly going to be able to hear about it. Don't worry about that. But you're going to have to you're going to have to waltz down to the airport and say, I'm going back to the States. No, I don't have any luggage. I'm just going to the States now. And buy a ticket and get out of India.
Does that help?
Okay.
Does that help answer your question?
No, that helps a lot. And also, I wanted to just respond to the 401k IRA issue, because quite a number of years ago, I saw the handwriting on the wall, and I converted my 401k to a checkbook a checkbook 401k, self-directed. You can do it with IRAs also. And I bought real estate, because at least if they're going to confiscate or if the stock market does what it's supposed to do, you're a little bit safer, is my reasoning. So, and plus you can use it. You can make income with it. So I just want to put that out there for people. It's definitely an option. Just look it up, self-directed IRA or self-directed 401k. And if they want to PM me on chat, they can do that, and I'll send them to my attorney.
Okay.
Okay, I'm simply wonderful on chat.
All right.
Literally.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank
simply
you.
Wonderful on the call.
Arlington 682. Are you there? Hello, Arlington. Last four of your phone number is 4615. Are you there?
Hey, Jerry.
How you
Hello?
doing? Yes.
Good. How are you?
What's your question, ma'am?
I just got off work, and I was wondering if we're going to the bank today.
I hope so. I don't know other than that.
Okay. I'll listen to the call to get the information that I missed on the replay.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye. Greenville, South Carolina, 864. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry. This is Derek.
Hey, how you doing?
I was what the guy was talking about the Zim earlier and the price that he paid. I wanted to make a statement and say that it didn't matter how much you paid, because I bought 10 $50 trillion bills for $1 a piece about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it was back in the day.
I was wondering. So it doesn't matter how much you paid for it. And I think that's what he had a problem with it. If you pay more for the $1 trillion bills, then the $1 million bills should be less priced. So I just wanted to come in and let him know that we got the trillions for cheap too.
He wanted to know why the trillions were more expensive than the millions. And I said, because it's business. And it really is. People are so focused on the 100T notes. Okay?
And that was all I had to say. I just wanted to let him know that the price didn't matter.
Thank you, sir.
Because I got trillions real cheap, and I paid about the same price for some of those 500 millions.
But there you go. All righty. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
North Bend, Washington, 425. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry. Art and Iko. Thank you for taking my call. My question today is, you said that you were a member of the Generals Group. Now, based upon what y'all have been given in terms of possible rates and so on that are out there, would you take those rates, or would you take what you, I don't even know if you know what the general rates are, or if it's been rumored to you privately. At this point in time, which rate would you take? What you suspect will be the contract rates, or will you take the general's rate?
Wingman, that sounds like that's a question for you.
Well, what I take, quite frankly, I'm a little not confused. I'm in a wait and see position on all of this right now. I believe that since Wells Fargo now handles the General 64 group, all of those people are going to get a good rate of return because Wells is, in essence, responsible for all of them. They took it over. Now, if there are contract rates, or if there, remember we still got market rates in here. We got market rates and we got contract rates, and the contract rates are basically sitting down with the bank and saying, okay, we're going to go into partnership on this, and we're going to come up with a contract that works for both of us, in that you're going to give me X amount of dollars more than the international rate, and I'm going to use those dollars for A, B, and C. That's a contract. And that's what I believe is, again, this is my own interpretation. That's what I believe is going to occur. They're going to give out a better rate, a contract rate, because it's going to be mutually beneficial to the individual and beneficial to the bank. Then there's this other little thing called a market rate, which is real, and it could vary a large degree. I mean, we're seeing how much manipulation there is in the market right now. God only knows what is going to happen during the first hours of the exchange. So we've all got to be on our toes. There's I'm rambling a little bit, but I want to make the distinction. You've got to understand that the contract rate is a partnership agreement with the bank. The market rate is taking advantage of the very best rate in that moment. And then, of course, the international rate is the base that everybody's using for comparison. Did that help?
Yes. So, in other words, you're saying
sorta.
If you can negotiate a better rate with the contract rate, even though the General 64 rate might be very good, very high, obviously, all things being equal, depending what you may or may not have to give up, give and take in your negotiating, then you wait till
exactly.
Yep.
Okay.
All righty, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Over on my web page, got a little section there for redneck barbecue pits and other inventions of necessity. If you have a redneck grill that you'd like to post on my web page, please send it to the wingitcall@gmail.com, and we'll try to get it up there. Go over there and check that out. You know, the mother of the necessity of inventions. There you go. Let's see. Last caller of the day. Galesburg, I think it's Michigan, MI 269.
Hey, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Hey, hi. Hey, Jerry Iko. Thank you so much. Real quick question. I know you're about ready to end the call. On the Zim notes, they have two series, AA and AB. Are both those okay?
Yes.
Great. Because I just ordered some, I think coming as AB. I've been getting AA, so Yeah, I appreciate that so much. You guys, thanks a lot for everything you do.
Thank you very much.
Okay, take care. Bye now.
All right, bye. Wingman, 30-second summation, and then we're going to get Pastor in here to lead us to the promised land.
Well, I guess it's broken record time. You know, we're right there. They're getting things sorted out, what it seems to me. There are big events out there all coming to a head, and exactly when, nobody knows. It could literally be this afternoon. It could be later, but that's what.
I've got something that I can read as soon as you're done.
Okay, well, I'm done. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth today. I'm in a good mood. I will say that I'm in a good mood. I'm looking forward to this. So
okay.
I hope everybody has a wonderful life.
All righty, Pastor, let me read this, and then you can take us to the promised land. For your information, this morning on the European Open, for the first time, Swiss bonds have slid into the negative yields. Swiss bonds are the Rothschild sacred cows. Globally, all bonds are grinding down into lower yields. This development poses a direct risk to banks' viability, i.e. their survival. There does not appear to be any hope of reversing these global bond yield trends. Quantitative easing cannot stop this death spiral in yields. Bank collapses are imminent on a massive global scale. At this point, propping up the Bank of Japan by devaluing the yen is now a fool's errand. Negative yields and interest rates now are the direct threat to global banks. Bloomberg reported the U.S. Treasury bonds do not reflect any reality in pricing or yields relative to global markets. U.S. markets have not even opened yet, and the global trend is rapidly accelerating, and this is still only Monday. Expectations are dire. Deutsche Bank is at a crisis level of collapse. Watch Deutsche Bank and Italy banks closely. They have no solution to this situation, and they freely admit it. Most experts admit that it is unclear what the governments or central banks can do to stop this. Most of the above comments are drawn from Stephanie Flanders, analyst of today's trends. She is the chief market strategist for JP Morgan Asset Management Department. I'm taking a wild-ass guess here that she might know about what she's talking about. Oil continues to downward slide. Gold slid as well. Market dynamics are unstable. There is only one solution out of this mess, and you know what it is. RV. So let me unmute. Pastor, take us to the promised land,
that sounds
please.
Pretty good. All righty. Father, we thank you for today's call. We ask you to continue the blessing that already began. Strengthen us, give us wisdom and peace. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, sir. Iko, what's the last thing we say?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye.